Welcome to the Stop Overdrinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving working moms come to learn how to stop overdrinking, reduce overwhelm and anxiety, and show up like the players they were meant to be. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik, and let's dig in. Welcome to episode 41, Repetitive Thought Patterns. Hello. How are y'all? Well, I'm doing great, per usual. Let's see what's going on. I ran a 10K race this past weekend on Saturday. It was super fun. It's about 6.1 or 6.2 miles. And it's called the Tour de Carborough. So every year in my town of Carborough, North Carolina, there's this racing program that has a race on the 4th of July. It's called 4 on the 4th. There's the Carborough 10K, which was the one past weekend. And then they always do a Gobble and Gorge run on Thanksgiving. It's a 5-mile race. So I always sign up to do those 3 races. And so this past weekend was the 10K. And, if you guys have been listening, you know that I like to run. I run on a regular basis. I didn't have any goals, when I set out to do this 10K. It was just I just like to think of it as my normal long run on Saturdays, which I normally do a little bit more distance on the weekend than I do during the week. So that's what my goal was, is just, have a normal workout for this 10K. And I decided I wanted to have fun. And that, if I pushed myself, that would be awesome. And I had so much fun during the race. I just love being with the crowds of people that are all there for the same reasons. They're wanting to exercise. They're wanting to challenge themselves. And I always run into people that I know. So I got to see one of my good friends, Susie. Hi, Susie. And my neighbor was there. And just the energy of being with that crowd out on the streets when the streets are closed, running in the morning. It was a beautiful fall morning. Cool, that it was a little bit overcast. We didn't have any hot sun on us. I just had a great time. And I remember thinking when it was over, that just went by so fast. And I had so much fun. It wasn't hard. And I actually beat my time from the year before by a minute or 2. So that was super fun as well. And then at the end of the race there's this track. It's at the middle school. So you end the race and then you have to race around the track one time and then the finish line. And I'm approaching the beginning of the track part and I'm running pretty fast. I'm excited to finish, and this woman runs up next to me, and I have my headphones in, so I can't really hear that well, but she's like, come on, let's go. And so it was an invitation to race her to the finish line. So I started running as fast as I can next to this woman who was a total badass. And I was going all out, you guys, and then I started to feel a little sick, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. So I slowed down a little bit, but ended up running way faster than I normally do at the finish. And I ended up finishing. That's probably what made me finish a minute or 2 faster, is because of that speed at the end and this woman pushing me. And afterwards I was like, holy shit, thank you. And she's like, yeah, that was awesome. And high fives and all that good stuff. I ended up looking her up on we get the race results and we have our names. I'm like, what was that woman's name? That was in front of me. Do I know her? And I looked her up online. We connected online, and hopefully I have a new friend. So that was awesome. Another awesome thing about the race. So it made me think about goals going forward, what I wanted that Thanksgiving race to look like. And I decided that I'm going to run an 8-minute per mile pace. So I'm going to run an 8-minute per mile time for the 5-mile race. So I would finish the race in 40 minutes. What? So right now I'm running a 9 or a 9:15 minute pace. So I'm going to decrease my speed by a whole minute between now and Thanksgiving, which is a huge challenge. And I'm super excited about that. So I'm putting that out there. I did this last year for the Thanksgiving run too. I wanted to be under an 8:30 minute mile. And this year I'm going to run under 8-minute miles. So fun. So lots of work to be done between now and then. I got to run some fast. I am actually considering hiring a running coach to help me increase my speed and incorporate some other workouts that will make me a lot faster. So anyway, this week is about repetitive thought patterns. And I get a lot of content from my podcast, for this podcast, from my clients or people who engage with me on social media or people that are on my email list. And a lot of you that sign up to see if coaching together is a good fit on those consultation calls. So one theme that has been recurring this past week has been repetitive thought patterns. And my definition of a repetitive thought pattern is twofold. So we have repeating thoughts like, I could use a glass of wine, over and over again, right? Have you guys thought that over and over again? I could use a glass of wine. It's a repeating thought. That repetitive thought has likely led to repeated glasses of wine, I'm guessing. And when we are struggling to cut back on our drinking or eating or spending money, we often get frustrated that we don't make permanent changes. And we start something and then a few weeks in, we give up and go back to our old ways. And when we want to stop over drinking or eating, we say things like this: I'll start tomorrow, or one glass won't hurt, or I don't care, I want it anyway, right? So repetitive thought patterns show up in all areas of our lives, especially when it comes to our own personal development, our health, our individual finances. The same thoughts, I'll do it tomorrow, show up when we think about cleaning out that closet or looking at our finances or creating a meal plan or prepping our food for the week, right? I'll do it tomorrow in all of the areas of our lives. So when we're on the crux of making a big decision to go all in on cutting back on our drinking, and you think, I'll do it in 6 months when I'm ready, or I'll start next month, or I don't have time, it's all the same thoughts you have when you are in the moment with the desire to eat or drink. So I really want you guys to pay attention here. So when we're on the crux of making a decision, of going all in on this work, cutting back on your drinking or starting a fitness program or starting a diet, you think, I'll do it in 6 months when I'm ready, or I'll start next month, or I don't have the time. These are all the same repetitive thoughts that you have when you're in the moment with the desire to eat or drink, right? So it's like, I'll start tomorrow if it's on a Sunday night, right? And you're thinking about starting tomorrow on a Monday, right? Or I don't have time, or it doesn't matter. These same thoughts are recurring for you. I recently had a call with a potential client, and she shared that she'd been battling with her weight for over 20 years. Alcohol had impacted her life. She considered medical intervention and spending tens of thousands of dollars to help her. But then when I asked her to pay for private coaching, those repetitive thoughts she had came right to the surface. She said, I can do this later. It's not the best time. I've got a lot going on. These are the exact same thoughts we have when we want to do something productive, like clean out the closet or go to work or go to work out, but instead we end up drinking or eating. Okay. Then we drink or eat instead, trading that in the moment pleasure and comfort instead of doing something we had wanted to do that would help us move forward and accomplish our goals. It can be life-changing when you see these patterns. Okay. So many of you all say, I don't know why I can't stick to my commitments. I don't know why I start things and I can't finish it. It's because of these repetitive thought patterns. I can do it later. It's not the best time. I've got a lot going on. I don't follow through, right? Think about how often you say those things to yourself in all the areas of your life. It could be at the start of something new, going all in on losing weight, stopping over drinking. It could be cleaning out your closet, cleaning out your basement, right? Same thought patterns. And it can be life-changing when you recognize those thought patterns, right? Our thoughts create our results in our lives. And if you're frustrated and feeling stuck about not making as much progress as you want to, try and find these repetitive thought patterns that you have in your daily life. They show up at work with projects at the bottom of our priority list, right? I don't need to work on that right now. There's more important pressing things. I don't have time. I'll do it later, right? They show up when we want to lose weight. I'll start on Monday. One bite won't hurt. It doesn't matter. I'll do it tomorrow, right? They show up when our finances are in disarray. I'll deal with that later. I don't have time for this. I don't want to feel stressed. Same thing. They show up when we want to stop over drinking. I'm scared I won't follow through. One drink won't hurt. I'll start tomorrow. We can also identify them as excuses, right? We can call them repetitive thought patterns, or we can just be honest and be like, that's an excuse. An excuse is a thought your primitive brain delivers when it doesn't want to do something. Okay? I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't feel like it. I don't want to see the number on the scale. I can do it later. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Right? primitive brain thoughts trying to keep you safe and stuck and keep you where you currently are, right? Those are also excuses. Think about how you've had the same thoughts in all areas of your life. Crazy, right? You might be someone who doesn't want to step on the scale because you are scared of what that number will say. And you don't want to deal with the negative chatter and feeling like shit about yourself if you do. Have you ever thought that? I don't want to know the number on the scale because I don't want to feel bad. Right? Most of us think that. Have you ever thought, I don't want to look at my finances because it stresses me out? I don't want to deal with that right now? It's the same thoughts that show up everywhere. The fear you have to step on the scale and the fear you have to look at your finances is coming from the same thought patterns. I might be a little twisted, but I love uncovering these with my clients. It's so fun because when we do, it's like magic. Because changing that one thought, I'll do it later, or I'm scared to see, will change in all of the other areas of your life too. The work you do to change that one thought will literally make your life better in all the areas. It is very, very powerful. One session with me, whether it's a free consultation call or you one of my regular clients, can be life-changing when we uncover these repetitive thought patterns. Another type of negative thought we have is about our capabilities to make the lasting change. This sounds like this. I don't know if I can. It probably isn't going to happen. I've never been able to do that before. I'm worried I'll go back to old habits. These thoughts show up right before we make big decisions, such as going all in on losing weight for the last time, or maybe taking on a big project at work where we haven't done something before, or maybe it's a sales goal or a fitness goal you have, or a relationship you want to improve. These thoughts stop us dead in our tracks. Okay, I'm going to repeat them again. I don't know if I can. It probably isn't going to happen. I've never been able to do that before. I'm worried I'll go back to old habits. These thoughts stop us dead in our tracks. If we're thinking, I don't know if I can, we feel doubt. And from the feeling of doubt, we definitely don't take actions to move towards our goals. We stay small. We don't stick to our plans. We don't try new things, creating a result. And what happens with that is that you're creating a result of more of the same that you currently have in your life. Okay? I shared my thought I had about reaching my business goals this year. I think that was in episode 38, right? I don't know if it's going to happen. That's what I thought about my business goal. This was an unintentional thought that I had. I don't know if it's going to happen. And when I realized that I was thinking that, I was like, wow. And when I uncovered that thought, I instantly knew what kind of results I'd be getting if I kept thinking that way. You guys can see it, right? You can think, yeah, if you keep thinking, I don't know if it's going to happen, it probably isn't going to happen, right? The result of my goal would be, it wouldn't be happening if I kept thinking that way. So I changed it to, it's happening, right? I went from, I don't know if it's going to happen to, it's happening. And guess what? All the evidence is showing that it is going to happen. I will reach my goals for 2019. And I also had the same type of thought about my goal weight to 135 pounds. I thought, I don't know if it will happen. I don't know if I want to. I've never weighed that before. Guess what? I haven't hit that weight yet. No surprise. I've recently decided to start training for that 5-mile race I just told you about and decreasing my average running pace. And I also want to lose 15 pounds in that process. And my new thought about it is, I'm doing this. So much better than I don't know if I can or I'll do it when the time is right, right? Just think about what could happen if you identified some of those thoughts that were creating the same results in your life and the impact it would have if you changed them. Our thoughts create our results. The sentences in your mind are creating results for you all day, every day. We think the same thoughts about all the areas in our lives. It's okay to, if you haven't realized this yet, don't beat yourself up about it. You're a human being and you're normal, and your brain likes to take the easy way out. It doesn't like change or to feel uncomfortable, so it's no surprise that you've had the same thoughts over and over again. Your brain is functioning at its basic level. It's avoiding pain, seeking pleasure, and expending the least amount of effort as possible, right? That's the motivational triad. And when you can see the thoughts that fit into this process, then that's actually quite easy to change. And that's exactly what I can help you do. If you want to request a free consultation from me, click on the link in the show notes. And if you've been listening, you've been on the fence about pulling the trigger and digging into these issues and solving them once and for all, don't wait a second more, you guys. Your life and your future self is waiting for you patiently. It keeps showing you signs of what to do. It's time to show up for your future self and live that life you actually want to live right now. Also, I am completely changing my program at the end of 2019. So if you want private individualized coaching from me for your specific situation, now is your time. I won't be offering one-on-one private coaching in my current capacity after the end of this year. End 2019 with a bang. Enter the holidays with new skills that will help you stay focused on your goals without feeling deprived or like you aren't able to enjoy. I've got you. All right, my friends, I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.